we had this one healing for this week, and there were three different groups that we worked with that we did the same healing because then we have our homework, and then we try to work with that. And I noticed in each of these, the first time that happened, what surfaced was I'll give you an example. Okay, as I was growing up, I was a little chubbier than my sister. So, not trying to be mean, but my mom would, say things about that, but just, more as a joke. But to me, it wasn't a joke, right? And I didn't realize I'd laugh at that time. But now I realize how my mind had processed, the child's mind had processed. And then later, when I got married and, after I had kids, I gained some weight. And dad made a comment when I went back to visit. That stuck with me. So now have been finding that losing that weight has been a challenge. And I never had that problem growing up because mentally, I mean, okay, they were making jokes and I used to play sports and stuff. And so it was never an issue. But now I've reached a point where somehow it doesn't seem to move. And then I realized because I was still holding on to what they had said. You see, as it surfaced the first time and the first healing that we did, when it surfaced, I was like, you know, sort of annoyed that they would say something like that. Then I moved forward to forgiving them because they didn't say it in a mean way. They didn't mean to be mean, but that's how I took it and that's how I processed it. The second healing we did, I felt a little shift because the initial frustration, anger, and weepiness, all of those, they were released. But the second healing was a little uh, sort of gentler and moved forward, went back to that timeline and moved forward and worked with it. But today's healing, I saw myself as I've always imagined and as I was when I was, playing sports, like, very fit. And that kind of has moved. And I feel the shift in me. I feel the connection with foods that are good for me. I don't crave junk food anymore, as much. I do allow myself, to kind of work with that, but I'm doing it more consciously instead of just mindlessly eating because that's the reel that's playing in my subconscious. So as we do the healing, it kind of seems to build up. If you're willing to do the work, I could have said, oh, I don't really care, I don't think it's going to work and not really put in the work. But if you connect with yourself and you allow that healing to take place, it's uncomfortable for a while. There are things that are surfacing that you were not aware of, but it's triggering some responses in you, some reactions in you. But if you kind of work with it, then it dissipates. So you definitely feel a lot lighter, feel more in charge, more in control of your impulses, and are better able to process